Hello, family. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well today. They have put $20,000 on the inmates that escaped each. Boy, I tell you, if they have any family members that's struggling right about now, they good as caught in a couple of days. Yes, $20,000 for each one. Y'all already know we gonna talk about it, family. Yes, and then I want to talk to everybody about the riverboat ride, the captain, co-captain. Um, I want to talk about that as well. I saw him, so we would talk about that. Just let a couple of more people get in the building. Get in the building. Yes. Shanita, hello. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? I heard that Napoleon is supposed to be swearing in today, but y'all know I wanted to keep my word and come on, but I will talk about his swearing tomorrow, most definitely at the township. But I did want to get this out the way. But honey, yeah, Shanita, they got 20K for each one. If it's any of their friends or any of their family members that's struggling, oh, they good as through. They good as through. Yes. Ham dog, salute, salute. John Benjamin, salute, salute, salute. Hello. Yes. You know what? I said that, Shanita. I said, because I've been doing this every night round about this time, I'm like, man, but I'm going to definitely cover his swearing in tomorrow as well. Um, just congratulations to him. I'm so glad that Mud Wallen Hen is up out of both seats. Yes, she got to go. And she's gone. Now I'm waiting on those feds to do some type of indictment on her or something. Tidra Owens, salute, salute. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Family, when those people said 20K for each fugitive that escaped out of New Orleans, I said, oh, they good as through. They good as through. Because if they got anybody that's struggling, they are good as through, family. Y'all already know it. Y'all already know they good as through. If they got any family member struggling, it's on and popping. Let me see. Yes, on and popping. If they got anybody struggling in their family, they can hang it up. Let me see if they got it. Hold on. They can hang it up real bad. I'm still here, family. Let me see if I got it on. So how's everybody doing tonight? Did y'all see that? You remember when we said on the live, family, that the defense is going to have to come hard, and then the prosecution side, they definitely going to have to come hard. And today, I kind of think that the defense came hard today. They really did. They came hard. And the prosecution, they was trying. I just hope that they get a little bit more stronger. It seems like, I don't know if they witnesses are getting scared, family. I'm thinking they're getting a little scared. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're getting a little scared, and they don't want to they ain't trying to get in no mess. That's what I'm thinking. Hold on. I'm thinking they don't want to get in no mess. Yeah, I don't know, because that girl, Dawn, she was not strong at all today. She wasn't. I mean, she did her best. She told her story, which was a pretty good story if we talking about a DV situation. We're not talking about a DV situation. Now, she did say something about she saw them carrying guns and using guns and all that, but it still really is no for sure evidence. Like, she didn't produce any. No, she didn't produce no for sure evidence. Not that I seen now. She probably did. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just kind of feel sad because you know that how Diddy is, but it's just hard for them to basically prove it for real, you know? Cause he get, I don't know. We'll talk about it, family, because I just didn't like the way a lot of it went. I really didn't. I didn't like the way a lot of it went. Um, Ham Dog says salute. Oh, she said she hopes she see him. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, Ernie Williams, salute, salute. Bless you too, brother. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Well, I'm gonna go ahead on and get right down to it. I appreciate y'all hitting the like button as well. I think when we're doing the live, you hit the like button. It don't kick you out like it normally do on the premieres that we do. It don't kick you out like that. But let's get right on into. I could do the disclaimer, but I just wait. But family went to that riverboat, and that was I meant to tell. I was trying to fit it in when I was doing Diddy's trial, but I couldn't really fit it in. But we did go there that Mother's Day week, right in there, and it was so nice. And that captain, Damien, he have a beautiful personality. He said, tell the Knowledge family hello. I showed him the channel and everything, and I told him that we was rooting for them because a lot of them had got in some trouble, even though it wasn't their fault, but family, if y'all are ever in the Alabama area, check out that Harriet Riverboat cruise. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. It was very nice. And it's something about that area, that water, it has like an ancestor spirit to it. I really can't explain it, but it's like we down here on the Gulf Coast, so we travel back and forth. I've been on jet skis, I've been on stream boats, I've been on river boats, I've been on everything in the water, out of the water. But going there, that was my first time going up there to the riverboat. And it just felt a little different, family. It felt powerful around through there, and that area has somewhat of a dark history, but when you're there, you feel uplift spirit. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can understand what I'm saying. But let me see what y'all. Kendall Arts in the house. Hello, hello, hello. But yeah, it just had a beautiful feeling, family. And the whole staff was very nice. But let me tell y'all something, family. They security, They security ain't no joke now. I don't know if they had that type of security when the Riverboat brawl broke out. Y'all remember when the Riverboat brawl broke out? Y'all remember when all that right there happened? I don't know if they had the type of tight security they have now, but family, they won't even let you bring bottled water up on that camp. And you talking about it was hot, and I had my bottled water, and the people that was with me had their bottled water, and they told us, no, you got to put it in this bucket, and then when you get off the boat, you can get it back. How we gonna tell who water is who? No, that's all right, dog. Y'all can have that water. That's okay. They say you buy your water on the boat. I said, okay, that's fine. Yes, family. Shanita says she understand. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Teacher, oh, you say about 35 minutes away? Yes, honey. You need to check that out. Yes, because we rolled through there just for the Mother's Day week. Because remember, I was telling y'all, I said Mother's Day week and stuff, I'm gonna be very busy and stuff, and I was gonna try to come on like I did, just doing a lot of traveling with the grandkids. Remember, I was telling y'all about that. So we went there. Man, it was nice. Yes, it was very nice. Mr. Damien, the co-captain, and like I said, I don't know if they had that type of tight security like that, but they have it now, and they are not playing, family. They are not playing about that boat, about that dock, about the employees, none of that. So it was just a wonderful feeling to be on that boat. And it was that's the captain. He's still there. And Damien is the co-captain. And family, at the bottom, I'm going to show y'all that too. At the I wanted to show y'all. Okay, right here. The bottom deck, the bottom deck, everybody be chilling on the bottom deck, and it's real nice. They have live band. It's like somewhat of a restaurant in there. Then on the middle deck, you go upstairs to the middle deck, and the middle deck was also where you can go in like a bar. You go in there almost like a bar setting. You go in there, have a good time. Music is playing in there as well. It also has the dance floor that's on the back. And up here, they have two different music going on. You got your live music down here. Up here is where they do the line dancing and all that. And actually, they ask you to write down about 2 or 3 songs that you like, and then they will play it for you, and everybody get on the dance floor and have a good time and things like that. But Damon then was running that, honey. Yes, they was running it, and he said he's doing fine, and he appreciate everybody's support. Actually, the whole staff do. They appreciate everybody's support. He's still kicking it on that boat. They handling that boat. They act like that boat is really theirs, So let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Yes. Oh, you say you have, Tidra? Okay. Kelly Pass off his first. Okay. But yeah, so it was very nice. They tried to get him in trouble and all that. But as you see, he still have his job. Everything is all kosher. Beautiful personality. He was basically controlling the music around that joint. They had the blues playing. He had the blues playing up there on that part of the deck and all that stuff. And then the captain, he pays attention to, the guidance of the ship and everything. But it's just beautiful. And that hour and 30 minutes laughing and joking with him and everything is all good, So we continue. I told him we continue to send him love. He said, tell the Knowledge family hello. He looked at the channel. He subscribed to the channel and all that stuff. So you know, it's pretty, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, family. But I'm telling you, that when I was on it, an hour and 30 minutes, the Harriet is a 19th century riverboat, right? And it be packed like that too, family. It be packed with people on it, all on the top, the third floor, the second floor. And it was a spirit in that Joker, family, that I was like, wow. You know, like I just don't know. It was very, very powerful. It was beautiful. It just made me appreciate where we came from and where we are today, you know, and you get that feeling, you know, of, you know, man, our ancestors, our people, and everything like that, they went through so much. And then to get to ride and you feel the way you are today, the success you have today, you know, and just be happy and thankful. And it was something across me too, said, don't stop using your voice to help people. Continue. Continue. No matter how frustrated you get or whatever, just continue. Because like I said, not only do we do this on YouTube, but I do it outside of YouTube. And sometimes it do get a little frustrating. And it's almost like I got some power and strength back to keep it up, you know? So that's all I wanted to tell y'all about that. And then as y'all will see that it tells about the Harriet as well. Yeah. It says that the Harriet is a riverboat in Montgomery, Alabama. Let me scratch it out some. It's a riverboat in Montgomery, Alabama. Has a rich history starting with the original Harriet and steamboat that played a significant role in the early transportation of goods, particularly cotton, between Mobile and Montgomery. The Harriet, a replica, arrived in Montgomery in 2008 and became a popular tourist attraction and entertainment venue, offering cruises along the Alabama River. However, the river front where the Harriet docks has a dark history, serving as the site of the slave market where enslaved blacks people were bought and sold. In 1821, the steamboat Harriet was the first to travel from Mobile to Montgomery, transporting cotton or whatever. Okay. So it does have a deep history, you know, it really does. So thank you so much, Kendall R. Ernie Williams says God's truth will prevail. Yes, yes, yes. Shanita said it is 16-year-old swimmer still working there. You know, they was talking about that. Somebody I was with asked that too. But you know, he do it. That was like a summer job that he does every year, you know, like every summer. So the summer's not in, you know, like they still in school. So when they get out of school, then he come back. And then I think that will be like his last year. And then, you know, when he graduate, you don't do the summer job no more. He probably will go on to college or whatever like that. But we did ask, but most of the, you know, like they do have like the summer job workers and things like that who get jobs for the summer, you know. So school was still in. So no, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. But they did ask about him, and that's what was told. I'm glad y'all asked that, Shanita. I'm glad you asked that because I definitely would have wanted to tell y'all about that. Yeah. Because he was moving. He was swimming across that water, boy. Yes. Jamal Killings. He's in the house. Salute, salute. Salute, family. Yes. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show y'all and tell y'all. But beautiful personality. I'm like, and he's like, y'all know how some guys are. They like a big teddy bear, very, very soft spoken, just smile and they'll talk to you and things like that. He's like that. And I'm like, wow, why would somebody even want to like argue with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's pretty laid back. You know what I'm saying? He really is. He really is. So those people that was blocking the dock and putting a boat, oh, they can't do that no more, family. Oh no, you ain't finna come around and all the boats that we saw while we was on the water cruising, we saw boats passing us and jet skis passing us and all that. I don't know where they dock and load at, but I can tell you right now, it ain't there. I guess they won't have that problem no more. You know what I'm saying? Or they have a certain hour that they can use that area when the Harriet is not in operation or something like that. I don't know, but I can tell you this. Those boats wouldn't even come really near. Not no personalized boats. You know how people have their boats to go fishing and stuff like that. They ain't coming near there. You make me want to go, Shanita. Yes, really, really, you need to go. It's a very good time. Very good time. Very good people, friendly people. The staff was on point. They, it's a restaurant in there, and I'm talking about they cook. I ordered like wings, and a drink, but they have it. They have it all. You can look at your menu. You can order. They cook it right there. The wings was hot, good, on point. Yes, they was. Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't want to spend too much time on that one, but I just wanted to show y'all that he's doing great, and said, tell the Knowledge family hello. And so I got a chance to get around to do that. And those is 7 inmates left now, family. It's 7 of them left. They done captured 3 of them. Yeah, they done captured 3 of them. So it's 7 of them left. And they said $20K for each head. They want each one. And you will get $20,000. I believe it's 22,000. But the news saying 20. So I'm going to stick with 20. But I'm going to let y'all hear the FBI man and the governor, because it sounds like that thing is moved. Like they said 22, because I remember hearing a $2,000 somewhere, like we're going to put an extra $2,000 from a certain organization is putting in $2,000. And I said, well, that's 22,000 then. But, the point is 20K. And I tell y'all, family, if they are running, if they have ran to any family members or anything like that, 20K looks good to them, especially if they struggling. If they struggling, I'm telling you, they're going to be looking over at them at nighttime saying, I don't know. They go in that refrigerator and that refrigerator look half-ass empty. I don't know. I might need to call these folk. Let me go and call these folk. That 20K look good right about now. Oh, yeah, somebody going to turn them in. They friend, they girlfriend. Now, a girlfriend might have would have stuck down with them because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the people say that it's somebody helping them that they know, and they sent out a stern public message, public warning. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, but let me tell y'all this right quick. Even if they land with the girlfriend, the ones that they calling on the phone, on when they was inside of the jail or prison or whatever. Once they said yesterday, because it was yesterday when they said the family. Once they said yesterday, hey, it's 20K on each one of them. We ain't talking about no 20K for all of them. Each one got 20K on the top of their head. I know then the girl was like, you know what? This joker, he ain't going to be able to get a job. He can't put in no applications. I mean, he can street hustle, but then he's taking a chance of being noticed out here. So even if he street hustle, it's really not going to bring in no money. them girls gonna go to thinking, honey, baby mama, girlfriend, whatever, honey. Somebody getting turned in. Modestate on air. Hello. How you doing? Yeah, well, let me let y'all hear this, family, what these here people said. Because they said 20K on each one of their heads. Now, it started here with this police officer. And I'm so tired of Tiddy. Tiddy is the mayor. That's her nickname that they call her down here on the Gulf Coast, family. I'll get to her in a minute. I'm going to just let y'all hear. Because she had an attitude, it seems like. But this is it, family. Listen.
As all of our federal partners, FBI Special Agent in Charge, Jonathan Tabb, ATF Special Agent in Charge, Joshua Jackson, Homeland Security Investigations, Deputy SAC Matthew Wright, also Secret Service Special Agent in Charge, Amy Kearns.
She's snitching.
Those partners are incredibly important to our success. They're a force multiplier. Y'all are aware when we spoke.
Now that's him talking on the screen.
These fugitives may not just be in New Orleans. They've possibly moved out to other parishes in other states. And the combination of local, state, and federal law enforcement working collectively to ensure the capture and safety of everyone is our top priority. We also have with us from the Department of...
But I'm going to tell you, family, all jokes aside, everybody needs to be on the lookout. You know, it don't matter what state you are in. If they done jumped in somebody's car and went to this state, that state, this state, that state, you just have to be aware. I know they say that they probably in other parts of other parts of Louisiana, but all reality, they could be done hit other states by now. They've had 3 days out now, you know. So okay, so check this out. But this is him talking about him.
Justice, the Attorney General's Office, Director of Investigations, Leon Canizaro, as well as you can see behind me, Mayor Latoya Cantrell from the City of New Orleans, our Senate President, Cameron Henry, Governor Jeff Landry, and his wife Sharon, as well as our Executive Director and CEO of Crime Stops the Greater New Orleans, Darlene Costanza. Can't speak enough about the partnership with Crime Stoppers and the rewards that both ATF, FBI, and Crime Stoppers have brought in numerous tips. Which
they done got the FBI on leads.
We're confident this time that we have actionable intelligence on all 7 of those fugitives. And we hope in the coming days, if not the coming hours, that we have them all apprehended. But we need the public's help. And we cannot do it alone. More importantly, if you are helping and assisting these fugitives, allowing them to remain uncaptured and not brought to justice, there will be consequences. And there may be charges for you. So please, we ask you to do the right thing and contact law enforcement. There are several ways you can contact us. They've been on all of our social media platforms. And I would just like to specifically remind everyone of where they are, lsp.org, for any suspicious activity. You can also call the State Police Fusion Center, Crime Stoppers of Greater New Orleans, the FBI hotline. All of this information is on all the platforms, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, Twitter, X, as well as our partner agencies. If you feel when you see law enforcement in your area and someone's concerned, don't be alarmed. Obviously, we're trying to bring these fugitives to justice. And it's going to require law enforcement presence. These are violent criminals. And they escaped. And they have consequences for their actions. And that requires a law enforcement presence, sometimes tactical equipment. State police, along with our partners, has air assets in the air, drone, criminal intelligence, detectives, patrol troopers, as well as uniformed officers from other local agencies. So if you happen to see them in your neighborhood, you should feel confident that that law enforcement presence is trying to bring those escapees to justice. And if you see something, you can always call 911 if you feel unsafe. We understand that it may cause you a little bit of alarm, but know that we are here to protect everyone in the city of New Orleans and everyone in the state. And of course, our federal partners will ensure that everyone is taken care of outside of Louisiana. 3 of the escapees were captured within the first 24 hours with the help of the public. I'm going to say it again, with the help of the public and Crime Stoppers.
Y'all know one of them was up under the car.
They were relocated to another state facility in Louisiana to ensure their security and safety, as well as everyone else who resides in the state. I'm going to turn it over now to Special Agent in charge of the New Orleans FBI Field Office, Jonathan Tapp.
Thank you, Shanita. I appreciate it. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Sending love to you. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
I'm Jonathan Tapp, Special Agent in charge of the FBI here in New Orleans.
Now that's the FBI family.
7
Oh,
dangerous inmates have been on the streets for more than 2 days, and we strongly believe that there are folks out there helping these inmates evade capture. The FBI wants to know, along with our law enforcement partners, that the FBI will work together to ensure that those people helping these inmates evade recapture will be held accountable. These inmates are accused of serious crimes, and until they are back in custody, we should all remain vigilant. We appreciate all the tips we've received so far. And
let me tell y'all, family, is it worth like, say if you knew one of these and the family member or something, and they came to your house, is it worth letting them in and harboring them and doing? It's not worth it, man. It is not worth it at all.
we want you to know that the FBI and our law enforcement partners have been working 24/7 to follow every lead. The FBI remains committed to protecting the American people.
And furthermore, I'd be the last relative that if one had broke out and going to different relatives' house, I'd be the last one they come to. They already know me, family. I don't play like that. I turn your ass in. Yes, I ain't got time. Don't come bringing your troubles over here and starting a whole bunch of deep mess for me. They already know not to come.
And we have agents and analysts working across the country. The FBI will not stop until all of these escaped inmates are recaptured.
Mother stand on L. Mother stand on L. You laugh.
And if you have seen any of them, please call. You can call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can submit a tip at fbi.gov/New Orleans Fugitives, or you can call any of our law enforcement partners here. I also want to let you know that we have increased the reward money from FBI from $5,000 to $10,000 per inmate. That's $10,000 from the FBI per inmate, $5,000 from ATF per inmate.
Okay, that's 15.
$2,000 from Crime Stoppers
16, 17.
per inmate. So please, as Colonel Hodges said, we need help from the public.
Now, y'all heard him say 10 from the FBI, 5 from somebody else. That's 15. And he said 2,000 from some other agency. So that's 17,000, right? Now, y'all gonna hear the governor come up there and say, add an extra 5,000 to that because I'm gonna pay for that or something. Me and such gonna pay for that out of our pocket. So that's 22,000. Check it out, family. We at 17 now. Watch what the governor say. Unless I didn't hear the governor correctly, but I'm pretty sure I thought I did. But right now we at 17.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Turn over to Governor Lynn.
Now, it's the governor.
Good evening, everyone. This is a very unfortunate and disappointing circumstance. I want to echo my thanks to our federal and state and local partners and everyone out there who has been working extremely hard to try to capture these fugitives. I also want to thank my fellow colleague, Senate President Cameron Henry, who's here today. Darlene, I'd like you to know that in addition to the FBI increasing their award from $5,000 to $10,000, I would ask that you go ahead and increase the Crime Stoppers award to $5,000. That's a $3,000 increase. Both Senator Henry and I are going to cover that amount.
So he said add another 5,000.
Citizens in the state and in the city want law and order and security in their neighborhoods, safe streets for their children, and they are frustrated.
Okay, now the governor for the start going off on everybody. Check it out.
With the broken broken criminal justice system that places criminals and victims and diminishes the quality of life here in the state. They deserve better, and our citizens deserve accountability and transparency. Again, without the help of Troop NOLA, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, NOPD, ATF, and other law enforcement agents around the state, we would not be able to engage in this manhunt, and 3 of these fugitives would not be in custody. Last year, with an emphasis on public safety and violent crime, the legislature and I pursued accountability and transparency. And while some progress has been made, the current issue, I believe, reflects a persistent systemic problem that unfortunately is not unique to New Orleans. I have consistently said that our criminal justice system is like a 3-legged stool.
Here it go.
One leg being law enforcement, one leg being prosecutors, the other leg being our courts. And if one of those legs fails, the entire system collapses. Let's talk about that for a minute. Our law enforcement officers around the state and in the city are doing an unbelievable job. And they're making their arrests. They're doing their part. Since the creation of Troop NOLA last year, the state police currently has over 500 cases in the Orleans criminal court system that is being handled by the Attorney General. Now, once a person is arrested, we all know they're booked in a parish jail. And it brings us to why we are here today, which is a failure in the jail system. This massive jailbreak, which my statistics tell me could be the largest jailbreak in the history of the state,
Wow.
should never have happened. And the public deserves to know who, what, and how this happened. The responsibility for answering those questions will fall to the Attorney General. Her office will lead the investigation into this jailbreak. I've also ordered the Department of Corrections to audit the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility.
Wow.
For compliance with basic
He's
jail
ordering all
guidelines,
them now.
and
He
to
ain't playing.
remove all DOC inmates that were currently in the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility. I will be issuing an executive order that instructs the State Inspector General to get an inventory from the sheriff of all pretrial detainees and those awaiting sentences, like Derek Groves, the escapee.
Listen to what he said.
Guilty to manslaughter in October of last year and was awaiting sentencing. If he would have been sentenced by our court system, he most likely would not have had an opportunity to escape. That's extremely important. Now, once a person is booked, is arrested and booked, the case then goes to the district attorney or the attorney general. That is the second leg of our 3-legged stool. Prosecutors who dismiss cases and release violent criminals must be addressed. 5 of these escapees had been charged while in jail.
What?
Kendall Miles, Lenton Vanberg were charged with battery on correctional officers. Those charges were refused by the district attorney. Robert Moody, Jermaine Donald, and Lenton Vanberg were all charged with contraband in jail.
What?
Those charges were refused by the district attorney. Prosecutors who are unprepared and delay cases for years must be addressed in this court system. 9 of the 10 escapees have been in the pretrial stages in OPCC for years now. Resolving these cases requires cooperation between the district attorney and judges, as only the judge has the ability to continue these cases. I'm asking the DA to explain to us and to the public why these cases are not progressing. The third leg of our stool is our courts. Last year, I requested the Louisiana Supreme Court to do an in-depth review of the Orleans criminal court system. They issued a finding, and I've been working with inside the criminal court system to reprimand and to remove judges who are not properly administering their cases. We also established a more robust judicial commission by a constitutional amendment last year that was passed by the voters. That commission has recently been seated. I will be issuing an executive order asking the new Judiciary Commission to establish triggers for investigations by them.
Well, family, as y'all see, that governor ain't playing. And he clowning. It's a whole lot of people about to lose their jobs. Understand that. And the mayor of New Orleans, right here, you know what? Oh, Diddy. Oh, Diddy, baby. That's her nickname. Now, Diddy, to me, is almost just like Fannie Willis to me. Diddy done been caught having dinner, lunch, and cozying up with one of her workers. And she all up on the balcony eating, and somebody took a picture of it and said, look at them on the clock. They eating. They be here most of the time. Her and this dude, they sneaking. He work inside one of those office, you know, one of those police departments or something like that. He's something almost like how Fannie had Nathan Wade. Okay, that's how she down there doing. And they bust her out, and then she wants to say, "Oh, that's just an employee, or that's just that." Or that just. But the point is, just here last year, they didn't put the barricades down that they had inside of a warehouse, that they said that they didn't know that they had inside of a warehouse, that they could have put down so that when that guy came running through there with his truck, he wouldn't have been able to do it if those barricades was down there. So that's slip up one. So it seemed like when you have a slip up like that, everything be on point. But now she around there having lunch, dinner, coffee, and all that stuff, and hiding and sneaking and shucking and jiving and carrying on with some old man down there, acting just like Fannie Willis, ain't paying attention to what's going on. That's what it's giving. Then she gonna have an attitude, family, because when these here guys escape, it was another, like a chief of police or somebody like that came up and did a press conference. She was nowhere to be found. She just came to this press conference, is given because the governor was there. I'm sorry. So when she was there, after the press conference, everybody got through speaking, the governor said, we'll now accept questions. The first thing a reporter said is, Mayor, how come this the first time we've seen you since the inmates escaped? She said, this ain't the first time y'all seen me. I did another interview. You just probably didn't see it. I ain't see it either. And if it was, what, about 2-3 people there? It wasn't nothing big. It wasn't like a big press conference like y'all doing now. She had a little attitude, family. And for some reason, the people down there in New Orleans love some Diddy. They love her. She just got voted back in. They love this woman. And she ain't producing nothing. Not to me. And I be down there. It ain't like I don't be going down there and stuff like that. It's a lot of things closed on Bourbon Street, on Canal Street. I said, damn, it used to be a shoe shop right here. It's boarded down, gated down. Oh, damn. It sure used to be a purse shop over here, boarded down, gated down. Damn, you know, they used to have some cheap little outfits over here for women on Canal Street, locked down, boarded down. Giving Tiffany. Yes. Ernie Williams said, yes, he's going to get somebody at the, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yep. Oh, Darlene just not said they somewhere making plans how they going to split the money. Well, if two of them know each other, if 2 of these inmates is together, hey family, that's $40K right off rip. If 2 of them are in the same spot at somebody's house, somebody I'm sitting back thinking like, man, this 40 grand right quick. I got, car note, house note, refrigerator looking empty, cabinets looking empty, cold cuts looking empty. Shit, I don't know. I might can add me a back deck around these joints. I don't know. Soon as they go to sleep, 911. I'm trying to tell you, family. But anyway, yes. Now let's get on to this, because y'all know that 50 Cent love messing with Diddy any chance he gets. He really do. He don't like Diddy, and every chance he get, he wants to rag Diddy. Okay, yeah. So it's a new lawsuit out, family, on Diddy. So while they are in trial, text to tap line. Darlene Chestnut said, that's what I was thinking. 2 or 3 of them. Yes, I'm telling you, because I don't know if I know that some of them split up, because remember they caught one up under a car in a hotel parking lot. So he was by himself. So some of them probably did split up, and some of them probably like, hey, I know somewhere we could go right quick. So then the other one will follow that one. Right now, whether they watching TV or not and know that it's 20 to 22K on top of their head, I don't know. But if they don't know, it's some people that they probably laying there and they saying, man, it's 2 of them right here, 40K right quick. Mm-hmm. And they good for it. You can tell the way the governor talking. They good for them. You good for them 20K. You good for them 20K for each one. He ain't playing. Yeah. So, but anyway, you know that Diddy, 50 Cent, he don't like Diddy. He don't like Diddy at all. So this is what he said. And this is the new lawsuit. While Diddy is in court now, somebody called Jane Doe just released and dropped another lawsuit against Diddy while he's going through trial. Okay. So they did it about 4 or 5 days ago. So it says 50 Cent is apparently taking delight in Diddy's legal woes after 3 days of his traffic trial. Okay. During the proceedings, another lawsuit has been filed by a woman accusing the Bad Boy Record founder of all word. Okay. The anonymous woman claims that Diddy ordered her at a Manhattan apartment in 2001. And in the filings, she describes his alleged sausages. Okay. The filing states that Diddy began pulling sausages out and all that, and appeared to be the length of a large Tootsie Roll. Okay. So, but I'm trying to figure out why would you have to say that inside of a lawsuit? What difference does that make? I'm just asking the question, family. What difference does, if a person did that to you and they R-word you or something like that, why am I going to put down, and I'm going to put all that down in a lawsuit, how we got to the apartment, what happened, and things like that. But why would I have to throw in some jokes in it in the lawsuit and say, and he ain't nothing but a Tootsie Roll, a large Tootsie Roll? Okay, so if he was a gigantic Tootsie Roll, is all good for you? I'm just asking the question, because I look at stuff like that. Okay. And so then she also described, his sausages as itty bitty Diddy. So 50 Cent could not help himself from commenting on the lawsuit. On Instagram, he posted a screenshot from the filings and comment, Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the front, to the front, to the back, to the back. Now slide. LOL. That's why he in the corner getting off. You know what? 50 Cent wrong for that. 50 Cent wrong for that. Okay? Because y'all know that Diddy sits in the corner allegedly and watches is what Cassie said. So 50 Cent had to throw a little jab out there and say that's why he be in the corner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So because he ain't got really nothing to work with. So anyway, Diddy and his legal team are yet to respond to the lawsuit, but have previously denied any and all allegations of the SA. 50 has been commenting on Diddy's trial over the last few days. Okay. So they have not replied, and Diddy team most likely don't have time to reply due to the fact that they're already in trial right now, you know. So Joshua, hello, salute. Shanita's crazy. Yeah, so now this right here is Misa, and she is the mother of one of Diddy kids, his son, and one of his sons, okay? And she was at the courthouse last week, and she was on a walker because she said her leg was injured. I don't know what happened to her, but she just said that she has an injured leg, so she had to use that walker to get around. And so when people saw her, they automatically kind of started saying, "Oh, she there to support Diddy." And how could she support Diddy and all that? You know, people just had some things to say because they saw her coming in there, and they automatically assumed that she was there to support Diddy. And she said, "No, that's not the case." So you'll see here, she says, when my son said, Mommy, I need you, I was right there for him, walker and all, the fashion designer wrote in an Instagram post. So she's saying she was only there because her son asked her to be there. You know, like, y'all stop saying, "Oh, she there to support Diddy and all that." She said she was there to support her son. Her son asked her to be there, and that's exactly what she's going to do. So, and I understand that, you know, if her son said he needs her, then he needs her, you know. So it says Misa, you know, she was in a relationship with Diddy in the early 90s. And she's spoken out about her appearance at the rapper's New York City criminal trial. And in an Instagram post shared on Saturday, May 18th, she's 52 years old. She explained why she decided to attend the trial in support of her and Combs' 31-year-old son, Justin Combs. Now think about it, family. Justin is 31. Cassie is 38. They only 7 years apart. That's who should have been dating. That's who should have been dating. You know? Diddy 56 years old. Boy. Oh, Abby Lane. Salute, Abby Lane. She said 50 Cent forgot to mention the glide. Oh, yeah. So she said, yes, I'm good, everyone. I'm on my healing journey. She also began a lengthy caption explaining that she was using a walker at a courthouse due to a recent leg injury. When I suffered my injury, I had chosen to heal privately, the celebrity stylist continued. But when my son said, Mommy, I need you, I was right there for him, Walker and all. So she's saying that's what happened. And that was her in the Walker family. She came on because she said her son. But a lot of people, I guess, were saying, allegedly family, a lot of people were saying, oh, she came out with her Walker just to support Diddy. And that wasn't the case, she says. That was not the case. You know, she said she was there for her son. Whomever doesn't understand that just simply isn't in alignment with me or anything that I am about in life. I'm cool with that, she added in part. I have a purpose-filled life that I live daily. I make impact. I'm not concerned with insecure people attempting to project their insecurities onto me forever. So I guess, she was saying that people was talking about her and all that stuff, like, maybe because y'all insecure or whatever, or other people, not y'all know what I'm saying. She's just talking to the people who was talking to her, basically. So on that one, then you have Dawn. Dawn done went up there, family. I'm sorry. Dawn went on the stand. Dawn was part of that Danity group that Diddy put together. They was part of making the band or whatever. But the thing is Dawn went up there and she was being a good witness for Cassie. But she also, I'm sorry, family. She just, she was talking about how Diddy threw a skillet at Cassie, a skillet full of fried eggs. But today, that defense team basically fried her like she was scrambled eggs, okay? They didn't hold no bars, punches, or nothing. They came hard. And remember we were saying that, family, that they most likely was just taking it lenient on Cassie because she was pregnant. But they coming out swinging. They coming out swinging, and we're gonna need the prosecutors to come out swinging too. Yeah, because they was catching Dawn in a lot of backtracking statements, and it just wasn't panning out. It really wasn't. I was just dropping my head for Dawn. That was her going into the courtroom. But this is some of her testimony. Let me see what y'all saying. Talking about 50 Cent need to stop. Yes, he do. But check this out. Richard, some of them call her Rashad. Some of them call her Richard, okay? But I say Richard. But anyway, doing a point in cross-examination, Richard admitted to giving different versions of events to officials and not mentioning certain details during interviews with prosecutors. For example, she said in court she saw Combs use cocaine and witnessed his alleged dealer, identified as One Stop, sell street candy, but previously gave different answers to prosecutors. So Dawn was up there like, yeah, I said it. Oh, nah, I ain't. Did I say that? Nah, I ain't mean to say that. She was up there, family. So anyway, so this is Diddy's team. This is what they said. You previously, now Don said that one time Diddy was windmilling on Cassie, and then Dawn said that Diddy bought her and another chick inside of a room and told them, hey, look here. Y'all better not ever mention what y'all just seen, because where I come from, people come up missing. That was she said, he said, okay? Now, then Diddy folks come and they say, you perceived the threat as a deletion threat, feared for your life, but then you reached out to work with him again? Diddy attorney said. To which Richard replied, yeah. Then it says, arguing that in more recent years, her song hasn't reached the level of her group success, okay? And Diddy's lawyer said, I mean, you know, you ain't really have no success with your music. I mean, no offense, but it is true, right? You see what I'm saying? So then Dawn was saying yes to that. And then Dawn, who filed a civil lawsuit against the rapper last year, alleging physical and SA, told the court she wasn't looking for compensation or other perks for her testifying in his criminal trial. I'm expecting justice, she said. Okay. So when she said that, Diddy folks come back and say, your testimony has changed a number of times. You would agree that as time progressed, your story changes. That's what Diddy lawyer said for Combs. That's what she said. Then Dawn said, yes. Now the story changed. Different, she responded. What? Dawn. She said, Diddy lawyer gonna say, your story done changed number of times. And every time you basically say something, it's different. She gonna say, yeah. What? Girl, you about to stink up the joint. Anyway, when prosecutors rose to redirect Richard, addressed the lapse in her story, she's by saying, I have to go back to memories that I didn't want to come back to. So my thing is, Dawn is saying she saying different things because she have to go back to her memory because she don't want to go back to the things that she left behind. But this is a trial. You have to go back and tell what happened. Because once you go to telling one thing on one day, then the next day you tell another thing, and you doing that consistently, I could see if you doing that probably one time. Oh yeah, I did say that, my bad. It wasn't then, it was this time. Or no, I didn't mean to say that. You see what I'm saying? But she did it a whole lot. So that's Dawn right here on the far left part of the girl group. Now, Dawn testified about another occasion in which she said she saw Diddy hit Cassie, this time in her stomach, while at a restaurant. Several people from the record label were present in the room at this dinner. Combs and Cassie had been arguing quietly. Dawn said after Cassie bent over, reacting to the hit, Combs directed her to leave, Dawn said. After leaving the restaurant, Dawn testified Combs and Cassie were arguing in a car. Cassie was embarrassed and told Combs he shouldn't have done that in public, Dawn said. Then he grabbed her by the neck and popped her and hit her in her mouth and told her to shut up, she testified. Security personnel who were present in the car didn't do anything, and the rest of the car ride was quiet, Dawn said. Dawn later testified in cross-examination that R&B singer Usher, Neo, and the Beats Electronics co-founder Jimmy Levine were among the celebrities who were at the restaurant that day when Diddy was windmilling on Cassie. Okay, that's what she said. They was all in there. Wonder what Usher got to say. Usher, was you in there when Diddy was windmilling on this girl? How about you, Neo? Was y'all in that restaurant when Diddy was windmilling on this girl? Or is Usher, Neo, and all them gonna say, now that girl, they're telling a tale? I ain't seen nothing like that. None of that happened. I'm just asking. Because she damn sure called them out, family. She called them out in her testimony. You're doing a great job always, my sister. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, Ernie. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the great compliment and uplifting words. Thank you so much. Darlene Chestnut. The men that's in the rap game are 16 years old and that they're older. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, It's sad how they doing this, but so check it out, family, because Dawn ain't through. They was on Dawn, so then Dawn testifies that she often saw Diddy taking that street candy, including them joints and the K mine and the C cane. She didn't see him take opies, she testified. The street candy were delivered to the studio by a man she said is called One Stop. Boy, they sure got a lot of nicknames around here, don't they? Because Diddy is AKA Frank Black. Cassie is some type of venturous female. Then you got one escort who called himself the Punisher. Lord have mercy. Now you got this guy here that's supposed to be the street candy dealer. His name is One Stop. So I'm taking it, because we know about the streets. I'm taking it that he got everything you need in just one stop. He got everything. He just lays it out. And anything you need, he got. You ain't got to go nowhere else. He is your one stop. Allegedly. I'm just saying that's what they, when people in the hood have nicknames like that, it's usually because of something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come here, Stanky. Ever since they were little, they were Stanky. And then they grow up and the family still calling them Stanky. Don't be calling me no Stanky. That was when I was in Pampers and y'all was saying that, oh, somebody stanky. So when I get like 20 and 30, don't be still calling me no damn Stanky. Okay? But anyway, so the street candy man nickname is One Stop, family. And Combs kept his D's, his street candy, in a Louis Vuitton toiletry bag. And he took it everywhere he went. He took it domestic and overseas, she said. Now, y'all see how she tying that in to the racketeering traffic, like he's a distributor, like, he's taking drugs from domestic and overseas. She made sure to point that out. Oh, yeah, he have a lot of drugs, and he have them here in the United States, and he overseas too. He take it all over the place. So Richard also saw Combs frequently carrying a, weapon. She testified he typically placed the weapon on his lower back, she said. 2 of his bodyguards also carry weapons in the same place, she testified. Okay. Later Monday on cross-examination, Dawn testified that she had seen Combs' assistant giving money to One Stop in exchange for that street candy. Defense attorney pointed to a previous meeting Dawn had with prosecutors in which Diddy defense team said Richard said she had never seen anyone get payment to One Stop. You see what I'm saying, family? They keep catching Dawn. They keep catching Dawn in different things. Now, whether Dawn is meaning to misgive information or whether Dawn can't remember what she is saying, okay? Because she clearly did say that she has seen money be exchanged, that she had seen Combs' assistant giving money to One Stop. She did say that. Then when she was getting like cross-examined and stuff like that, she was like, I ain't never seen anybody give no money to One Stop. What? We got to be strong. We got to be strong, because you don't need weak witnesses. And I'm not, I'm just saying the testimony. You don't want them to be able to come back and catch you in about 5 or 6 different stories, Then it says, the first time that you mentioned and alleged that Mr. Combs told you that people go missing was a week ago, on May 10th, 2025. Diddy lawyer asked. No, Dawn replied. Diddy lawyer then brought up another incident that was included in Dawn's civil complaint that alleges Combs pulled Cassie out of a car, which she later told prosecutors it didn't happen. What? So Dawn on May 10th. See, that's what I'm saying, because now it is it's May 19th. Okay, so on May 10th, she told them people that Diddy pulled Cassie out of the car. You know what I'm saying? And dragging her, doing all that stuff, right? So now it's May 19th, and they hit her up again. And then she says, nah, I ain't do that. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. She said that Combs pulled Cassie out of a car, which she later told prosecutors it didn't happen. So y'all see what I'm saying? So she's saying that what she said Diddy did, it really didn't happen. So I guess she don't know why she said that. She didn't give an explanation on why she said that. The defense attorney, Diddy's lawyer, is challenging part of Dawn's testimony about what Dawn said Diddy told her the day after a 2009 altercation in which she said Combs tried to hit Cassie with a skillet in the kitchen. And he said the skillet was full of eggs, okay? Dawn testified last week that the day after the skillet incident, Combs brought her and an artist, Kalina, into a studio, locked the door, and told them it was in their best interest not to say anything about the incident, and that where he comes from, people go missing. Now, that's what she said. Diddy said, okay? But then, during Dawn's cross-examination, Diddy's team asked Dawn to talk more about the time she saw Diddy with a weapon. Richards had said earlier this morning that she saw Combs frequently carrying a weapon. And she also said she saw him, like when he carried a weapon, he have it in his hand and he be waving it around, somewhat like of an intimidating matter to the people who are in the room, right? And so on cross-examination, Dawn says she saw him with a weapon a few times. She said she saw him with a weapon at a New York studio on a couple of occasions and in a club. When asked, Dawn confirmed she never saw Combs pull a gun out or load any bullets. Dawn said she only saw the weapon on him. In her earlier testimony this morning, she said he's typically have the gun on his lower back and that, like he's waving it around and stuff like that. But the defense attorney questioned Dawn about her testimony regarding Diddy street candy use. Dawn said previously told the prosecutors she never saw Combs use cocaine and noted that she said Combs used the street candy during Monday's testimony. That was last week, family. She did say, we just read it. She said that she seen the dude come one stop. He have all those different, good goods with him, and she done seen Diddy use, the cane or whatever. That was a week ago. Well, now this week they asked the same thing, and then she said she never saw Combs use cane and noted she said Combs used the street candy and out like she ain't never seen him do it. So you would agree with me that as time, this is Diddy's lawyer saying this to Dawn. She said, you would agree with me that at times, as times progress, your story changes, said Diddy lawyer. Dawn said, yes. What? Anyway, adding that as time has progresses, she has remembered more because it was so long ago. So what Dawn then tried to come back with a clap back and say, well, yeah, I am telling a lot of different stories here. But as I sit here and time goes on, I start remembering more. Okay. Let me see what y'all saying. Let me check. Shanita said Dawn can't say Diddy he do it or not. She was not a strong witness. Yeah. And I wish she would have been more stronger, and I think like she know, like I do believe she seen him put hands on Cassie, and all that stuff like that. I mean the way she's saying it, I kind of, believe that, because people just don't make up a skillet of eggs. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he threw a skillet of eggs at her. You just don't make, what I'm saying? I mean, you can make that up, but it was just too detailed, So I think, but once again, family, that's a DV situation. That's not a S traffic situation. That's not a racketeer situation. That's not a Petution situation. You see what I'm saying? I was looking for her. Now she was trying to tie that in when she was talking about one stop, that he got all the stuff that you need, and that Diddy was paying him. And then, but then she almost had it. Yeah, he paid the one stop. But then she turned right around and said, nah, I ain't never said that he paid him. I mean, I don't remember saying he paid him. I ain't never see him pay. I ain't never see no payments. Oh, come on. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only thing about that. On cross-examination, Dawn acknowledged that after parting ways with Bad Boys Records, Sean Combs, in 2011, she left the Bad Boys company. In 2011, she reached back out to him on several occasions. She said she contacted him to ask him to work together again. She has reached out as recently as 2020 to collaborate with Combs, she said. She said this. Family, stop the press. Now, you have to look at how now it's looking, because she clearly said that Diddy pulled her and the girl in the room and was saying, hey, look here, you didn't see what y'all saw, because people like y'all come up missing. See, when somebody tell me that right there, now we're not talking about Cassie, somebody who was in love with Diddy, okay? We talking about just an artist that she's singing and all that, and he'd have told me, hey, people like, forget what you saw. Because where I come from, people come up missing. And once I left in 2011, everything was clean, clear. I left. I went my way. He went his. He not fooling. He not messing with me. I'm not messing with him. Everything is good. You think I'm going to call this man back in 2020? She left in 2011. She called him back in 2020. So what do that let the court know? Is that things might not be as bad as it seems. Because why you calling the man back and ask him to collab with him? You begging this man didn't call you. You called him. And we're not talking about she was in a relationship with Diddy. And if you notice, I guess when Diddy shot her down in 2020, you just never know. I'm going to finish reading. I'm going to let y'all see what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but she reached out to him in 2020, asking to collab. Before she left the record label in 2011, Dawn asked Combs to sign her as a solo artist, but he declined. She testified. So she asked him to make her a solo artist. He said no. She left in 2011. You wait till 2020. They said she just kept on calling. As recently as 2020. Okay? My thing is, when you already been up under his label, it wasn't another label you could have found to probably get on with, because in 2020, family, internet was booming hard. So you really don't need a label behind you. You can promote yourself through internet, different social medias, But anyway, family, let me see. Looking right over here. Yeah, so I don't know. What y'all think, family? Let me hear what y'all got to say in this chat. What y'all think? Is Dawn using You know what? You almost made me choke over here, Shanita. She says Dawn using that sugar booger too. Darlene Chestnut said Dawn ain't being too truthful over here. Don't feel like, Dawn over here just thinking up the joint. I don't, I just feel like the testimony about what she saw, I think that's true. But the one with I seen them and he was taking this over here. I was into it. I was like, what, girl? What? Until then, when the Diddy team got on, she's like, nah, I ain't say that. Oh, did I say that? Oh, nah, I ain't mean to say that. And then I want y'all to see something else, family. Hold on for a minute, because I really want y'all to see this part right here that I'm finna show y'all, because Dawn, hold on, I ain't gonna give it away. But anyway, Diddy lawyer said, you felt like Combs ruined your career. Not once, but twice, said Diddy lawyer. And then Dawn said, yeah. And so you know where the lawyer going with that, right, family? Like, you up here you really come to this trial because you felt like he ain't give you no solo deal. Then you've been trying to call him all the way up to 2020. He still don't want to collab with you. He don't want to do none of that with you. Now, all of a sudden, you your civil lawsuit, you will say some things in that civil lawsuit. Now we asking you about them same things inside of your civil lawsuit that you filed against Diddy, and you're saying you don't remember saying that. Or no, I mean, if I did, so then who wrote the lawsuit? You know, like, did she read over it? I'm just asking a question. So anyway, family, Diddy lawyer asked Dawn to admit that she filed a lawsuit against Combs to get a lot of money. Dawn said no, but said she wants to be compensated for the work she put forth. What? Listen to that again, family. Diddy lawyer says she asked Dawn to admit that she filed a lawsuit against Combs to get a lot of money. Dawn says no, but she says want to be compensated for the work she put forth. That means you want a lot of money. You just told on yourself. You see what I'm saying, family? She didn't say, no, it's not because I want a lot of money. It's because what I endured, what I saw, what I was made to stay around because of contracts and because he had me thinking that he was going to make me a solo artist. That's why, I put my lawsuit down. But she didn't. She said, I just want to be compensated for my work. But that ain't what you said in the lawsuit. You didn't say you wanted to be compensated for your work in the lawsuit. You said that because of you went through this, you went through that, you went through this, you went through that, you want to be compensated. You want to sue him. But now she doesn't say that. When Diddy lawyer asked her, she asked Dawn to admit that she filed a lawsuit against Combs to get a lot of money. Dawn says no, but she says then that she wanted to be compensated for her work. See, that's why they say you're only supposed to give these folks a yes or no answer, okay? Don't go explaining nothing because you might stink up the joint when you start trying to explain something. When she said, you did that lawsuit to get a lot of money, didn't you? No. That's it. No. But if you're gonna explain something, you got to remember what you put in the lawsuit so you could say it right then. No, dog, not because I want no money. It's because he had me doing this, he had me doing that, and he had me doing this. Anyway, family. Boy, I tell you. Darlene Chester, boy, I tell you, it is funny though, ain't it? Can y'all still hear me? Hold on, can y'all hear me? Hold on. I'm trying to see, can y'all still hear me? Yeah, they can. Okay. Hold on, let me turn this thing down. Okay. Yes, Cafe. Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, family. So that's what it is over there on that end. Now, this is Cassie's best friend. You remember the best friend that she said that Diddy, but Cassie said Diddy busted her apartment and her best friend was there, and then Diddy started windmilling on her best friend and hit her best friend with a clothes hanger, and she ain't no more friends with the close friend or nothing like that. But the close friend gonna tell really why they ain't friends no more, which is real suspect. I was tripping on that too. Let me see. Okay. So this what she said, family. This is Cassie's best friend. She went up to the stand after Dawn did. And so she said that she testified Sean Combs started windmilling on her at Cassie's apartment in 2018. Combs let himself into the apartment while Cassie was in the bathroom. Morgan said, he came up behind me and you see what that say, yoked me, and then boomerang a wooden hanger at my head. Morgan testified, adding that she had finger marks on her neck. Morgan said she gathered her belongings and left, telling an assistant, he's going crazy, like he's lost it. The assistant just shrugged and she said, so when she told the assistant outside the door, like, hey, he going crazy or whatever, said his assistant just like shook his shoulders like, I don't care, whatever. Okay. I don't think he knew what he could do about it, Morgan said of the assistant. Morgan testified that she was planning on filing a lawsuit after the 2018 windmill incident, but she didn't. She said she met up with Cassie about a month after the incident, and Cassie told her she would be receiving $30,000 from Combs. At this meeting, Cassie told Morgan that she was over-exaggerating, Morgan testified. So now we see why when Cassie said, oh, after that incident with my friend and him putting hands on my friend, me and her hasn't been friends since. Now the friend is up here saying, yeah, we ain't friends no more because she talking about I was gonna file a lawsuit against him for doing that to me. But then Cassie wanted to meet me at some type of restaurant or whatever, and we met up, and she gonna tell me Combs gonna give me $30,000, but then had the nerve to insult me by saying I'm exaggerating. So yeah, so now I see why. Kendall R said, yes, Cafe. I'm so glad you said you can hear me. So yeah, so that's why they ain't friends no more, because Morgan took it like when Cassie told her, you exaggerate. You see what I'm saying? And Morgan has been there for Cassie for years. She said her and Cassie, I'm gonna let y'all read that too, but she said her and Cassie has been friends ever since they were 16 or 17 years old. And so when Cassie was being windmilled on, Morgan never told Cassie, oh, you over exaggerating. She's never told Cassie that. But when Diddy did it to Morgan, Morgan said Cassie told her, and Diddy wasn't nowhere around. So it wasn't like she was saying it because Diddy was in their presence. No, it was just her and Cassie. And Cassie told her she's just exaggerating. Okay? So that's why they're not friends no more. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Morgan says she signed a non-disclosure agreement that day and testified that she hasn't spoke to Cassie since. She testified that she received the money. So they did give her them $30,000, family. She said she did get them $30,000, but she wasn't fooling with Cassie no more. So Morgan said Cassie told her she couldn't leave Diddy Combs because he controlled everything. The friends would often talk about Cassie's relationship with Combs, and Morgan said she would tell her to do what she wants and also advised her to leave Combs. But Cassie would say she couldn't do it, Morgan testified. When the prosecutor asked why Cassie would say that, Morgan said it was because of her job, her car, her apartment, He controlled everything. She would have lost all of her livelihood. You see what I'm saying, family? That's another thing. See, Cass, we know that we say, Cassie was brainwashed. I really do feel like that. And because he was so much older than her. But my thing is, when you say she didn't leave, not because she was afraid of him. Morgan really doesn't say because she was afraid of him. She say she didn't leave because she would have lost her livelihood, her car, her job, her apartment, her allowance, all that stuff. So check out what Morgan says. Aside from her, Morgan said most of their friends were employed by or associated with Combs, and she could see their influence on Cassie. After Cassie would hang out with them, she wouldn't want to leave Combs, Morgan said. You could tell they were convincing her she said, they was convincing her to stay with Diddy, is what Morgan said, testified to. Now, as you see on there, Morgan said a lot of their friends worked for Diddy too. So Cassie and Morgan are best friends. They have friends who also working for Diddy. Probably gave him the hookup. Hey, he'll pay y'all because, she talking to him. So now when Diddy go to windmilling on Cassie and Cassie be wanting to leave, the friends are like, this is what Morgan is saying now, allegedly. This is what Morgan is saying. Friends will start convincing her like, girl, don't you leave him because then all of us going to lose our job because we only here because of you. We only here because of you, girl. Girl, I mean, I know it's bad, but girl, you going to lose everything and he most likely going to fire us because we your friend and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Allegedly, that's what it looked like Morgan is trying to say right here. Mm-hmm. So, and you don't need those type of friends. With friends like that, honey, you don't need no enemies. Because it is some friends, because they benefiting out of the deal, they'll still convince you to stay in a toxic situation so it don't hurt their pocket. They ain't worried about your safety. They're not worried about your health. They're not worried about what you're going through. It's just, girl, this the best money I ever made working for your boyfriend, girl. Hang in there. What? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shanita, she said, oh, wow, that's epic. Yeah, because you see right here, Morgan is telling it. Morgan is telling it, honey. Yeah. Because she said after Cassie will hang out with them, they're friends, because they had mutual, Cassie and Morgan was best friends, but they also had friends too that was working for Diddy. So they must put their friends on. You see what I'm saying? And you could tell because Morgan said she wouldn't want to leave Combs. Morgan said you could tell they were convincing her. She testified. She said after Cassie would go out with them friends, they could fit, girl, don't leave them, girl. They're gonna mess up all our bag. So Morgan said the second time she saw Diddy windmilling on Cassie was in Jamaica around 2013. Combs left the room after telling Morgan that Cassie was taking too long in the bathroom, she said. I heard Cassie screaming, so I ran into the hallway where she was, Morgan said, describing the scream was guttural. Morgan said she saw Combs, pulling Cassie by her hair down the hallway and about 10 feet before she ran to get her purse. When she came back, they were outside, Morgan said. When Morgan went outside, she saw how Cassie hit her head after Combs pushed her on the ground, she testified. Cassie then stayed in a loose fetal position with her eyes closed, Morgan said. She and Combs went to look for Cassie separately. Now, Cassie had done ran away and they couldn't find her. So Diddy and Morgan went two separate ways looking for Cassie. Okay. After Morgan found Cassie, the friends hid in a ditch for what felt like hours before eventually going back to the house, she testified. Cassie had a really big bump on her forehead from the incident, Morgan said. Morgan said she asked one of Combs' security guards to intervene, but the response that he gave was he wasn't going to do anything. Morgan said she and Cassie left the house and hid on the stairs of a neighbor's house as Combs and the security guard were driving in the streets looking for them. Eventually, Cassie went back to Combs' house and Morgan went to her hotel, she said. Morgan said she traveled with Diddy and Cassie to several United States cities and other countries like Spain and Italy, getting to know the music mogul very well. They will all take their street candy, usually provided by Combs, Morgan said. Now you see how Morgan is saying the street candy be distributed by Combs, given by, he giving it out. And then the Dawn, she did say about the one-stop man. Okay, so I could see how they'll try, the prosecutor try to, tie in all this racketeering, because Morgan clearly says they went to Italy, they went to Spain, and they would have that good, right? And then you heard Dawn say that she have traveled with them. She said domestically and, in the country and out of the country. And then one stop will come. So y'all see how they most likely gonna try to tie that racketeering thing in there, because there's two people that's saying that across the waters and in the United States that they just laying out that good. You see? So I see a tie-in right there that the prosecutors got going on. I see what they're trying to, you see what I'm saying? So then Combs was very nice and extremely generous, but also sort of intimidating and had a strong presence, Morgan said. Okay. Morgan said she first met Cassie on a modeling shoot when she was 16 and Cassie was 15, around 2001. They started living together in 2004 in New York City. In the first few years of their relationship, Cassie didn't drink much alcohol and didn't use any street candy, Morgan testified. Okay, so y'all remember I kept saying, I never heard Cassie say that before I met Diddy, I never used street candy. You see? Well, Morgan is saying it. Morgan is saying that and I kind of believe Morgan when Morgan say that. Morgan, now 39, and I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I said it, because she already said that she don't fool with Cassie. She ain't like how Cassie did what she did by trying to pay her off. Well, they did pay her off, but telling her that she was over exaggerating all that. But on here, you see, she still tells the truth that she didn't use no street candy. Now she drunk, she drink alcohol a little bit, but she didn't do that street candy. So I kind of believe Morgan on that. Morgan, now 39, currently works as a personal assistant in California. Morgan said that she was best friends with Cassie between 2001 to 2018, but they currently don't speak. She said that they stopped being friends in 2018 because her boyfriend windmilled on her. Specifically, that boyfriend is Diddy Combs. Morgan says she's testifying because she was subpoenaed, but she doesn't want to be here. When asked why she didn't want to testify, Morgan replied, "I have moved on with my life away from all these people and the problems." Well, I guess she told everybody then. So Morgan left the stand, family. Morgan left the stand, and we only got like 2-3 more pages left. James hit the stand. David James hit the stand. But then the judge said, "We stopping for today." It was 3:00. So the judge stopped it. But he got on the stand, and he was able to say this right here. David James, a former assistant of Sean Combs, asked, "How long do we have?" when he was asked to describe his role working for Combs as his assistant. So when they asked him, what was your role when you was working for Combs? He said, "Well, how long do we have?" So I guess he got a lot to say, honey. So anyway, James said he was with Combs every day. He was working and traveling around the world with him. James said his job was to make sure Combs was able to operate as a chairman of the company and to get every environment comfortable. Bam. What get every environment comfortable? See, I don't know, family. He got to testify tomorrow because he didn't get to tell everything. But I understand that he getting Diddy ready so he'll be able to operate for his executive duties. But then he said, and to get every environment comfortable. So I guess he talking about, make sure that he got his recliners and his pillows that he sit on and his favorite chair. I don't know. We'll see what James here talking about. Okay. James said he sometimes worked 3 weeks straight without a day off. See, Diddy always have been good with violating labor laws. I'm telling you. We said that yesterday in the live, didn't we, family? That them artists wasn't have getting paid and all that. Now, he didn't say he wasn't getting paid. What he's saying is that he worked 3 weeks straight without an off day. As Combs hired more personnel or personal staff, he could work 5 days a week. So he said he's working 3 weeks straight. But then when Diddy hired his personal staff, he was able to drop down to just 5 days a week. And then he would have, I guess, his 2 days off. So I understand that. But them 3 weeks straight, he also said, his former assistant, he said that he sought the job after reading an article in the New York Times saying a chairman of Bad Boys Entertainment was looking for an assistant. So it was in the New York article Times that Diddy was hiring. So he applied for it multiple times, sending his resume via fax, email, and dropping it off in person, James testified. He met several people at the company when he was interviewed for the job, including a senior vice president of human resources. Well, Diddy got a human resources? It damn sure don't sound like it. Not the way all these people are talking things was going down, going around, and all that. He got a human resources. Who the human resources for? Diddy? Was it for the employees? It don't look like it. I'm telling. I mean, allegedly, I was shocked to see that Diddy even had a human resources. But anyway, During their meeting, the executive pointed at a picture of Combs on the wall, and James said he told him, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom. We all here to serve in it." What? Now, if I'm in an interview and somebody say, "Okay, that's our boss right there, and we're all here to serve in it." Now, I'm here to work in it. But all this serving stuff, what is you talking about serve? Can you break that down for me? What is the serve part? What am I going to serve? And if it didn't sound right, I'd be like, "Nah, dog, that's all right. I go back to minimum wage if I have to." But your serve and my serve are two different things. And what you just told me serve mean, I ain't going to be able to do it. Anyway, family, what y'all saying? Darlene Chestnut, why not just have him locked up? Now, you know what? Honestly, if Cassie and them with all this DV had took this to state court, oh, this case would be strong. He would be locked. I ain't gonna say he would. They would have to do a trial just like they doing now. But the evidence that we hearing about the DVs and all that, and people seen it and witnessed it and things like that. Oh yeah, that one would have been strong if it was in the state case. This feds. This is about ST, traffic, racketeering, and P-tuition. Yeah. But you're right, Darlene. I'm telling you, he would have shown up been reading every page in that Bible, because Diddy is holding the Bible right now and he's flipping through it and he's reading it. I guess he's trying not to give any type of expressions or anything like that. He'll talk to his lawyers and things like that, but I think he's just more being occupied so that he don't get triggered. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, James said he would arrive at Combs' house before he woke up and coordinate with the chef to make sure breakfast was getting started. He would compile documents for Combs, including business decisions he needed to approve, his daily schedule, and news stories about Combs. Okay, so that lets us know that Diddy had an assistant that would be scouting for news stories about him, and they would look at it, and I guess if they didn't like it, they have a problem with you. But they would scout to see what type of headlines is Diddy in, and if he's in headlines, what is it saying, and things like that. So that's what this assistant here, James, said he did as well. And make sure that breakfast is on point. After Combs woke up and ate breakfast, they would go to the studio and then back to Combs' house or another destination, James testified. Okay. James, who was an assistant to Diddy from 2007 to 2009, testified. Dang, he ain't worked for Diddy for 2 years. But I'm gonna tell you most likely why he only worked for Diddy for 2 years. It's coming. So he worked for Diddy 2007, 2009, testified he was with Combs in Miami when he first met Cassie. Combs rented a yacht and they partied all weekend, James said. He recalled Combs saying he wanted to impress Cassie that weekend. James said he and Cassie didn't speak frequently, but he recalled 2 specific conversations he had with her. While in Miami, sometimes within the first year of working with Combs, James said he was standing with Cassie on a dock on Star Island. And Cassie said, man, this lifestyle is crazy. James recalled Cassie saying, he agreed and suggested she leave, he testified. See what I'm saying? When she said, oh man, this lifestyle is crazy. Because she's looking at, because remind you, Diddy said he wanted to impress her, right? So she's like, oh my God, James said, yeah, it is. And you need to leave. Like, baby, if you only knew. But anyway, he said he told her she need to leave. And then Cassie said, I can't get out. Cassie told him, according to James, she told him Combs controlled her music career, paid for her apartment, and gave her an allowance, James testified. What that allowance sound like, family? Remember Young Miami said she get an allowance? She said she get like, what is it, 500K a month, 50,000 a week or something like that. She said she get an allowance. Wow. But remind you, family, listen to the testimony. He's saying the same thing that Morgan is saying. That Cassie says she's not leaving because of the lifestyle. She would lose her. Morgan said because she would have lost her livelihood. She would have lost her car. She would have lost her apartment. She lost her job. Not that, if she, like the physical part of it. That's why she didn't leave. Morgan didn't say, well, she didn't leave. I guess she was scared of she was scared to leave because he'd come back and no. Morgan said, well, she didn't want to leave because she didn't want to lose her car. And she didn't want to lose her apartment. She didn't want to lose her job. And now here, James is saying the same thing. Well, I told her to leave, but she said she can't. I said, why? Because she didn't want to lose. She said that he paid for her apartment, he paid for her car, and he give her allowance. You see what I'm saying? He said, I just didn't think that she could easily leave, James said on the stand. So, Combs' assistant. Now, this is why I think he only worked there for 2 years, family. Because check this out. Dave James, a former assistant of Sean Combs, testified that Combs' security staffers often told him to stay in his lane. He said, stay in my lane, especially if he was asking too many questions. Bingo. That's why he was only there for 2 years, family, because he was asking too many questions. They felt he was being too nosy. Then remember, he told Cassie she needs to leave. I believe she told Diddy that. Your assistant told me that I need to leave you. You see what I'm saying? And Diddy about fired him. And then Diddy security and stuff was saying, hey, man, he asked too many questions. What's up with his questions? He keep asking questions. Because he clearly said it right there that the security and the staffers were telling him that he need to stay in his lane. And he said, especially if he was asking too many questions. So, yeah, they got rid of him. Yeah, when they doing the type of stuff that Diddy and them was doing, they don't need nobody running around, snooping around, asking questions. They be like, nah, he's suspect. I believe he 5-0. He's suspect. So that's why he only worked there for 2 years. Darlene Chester said, so far, those witnesses sounding too good. So they ran out of time, family. And he also said, I knew not to mess with them. To listen to them, he said he knew not to mess with them, just listen to them. That's it. But they weren't feeling old boy too much anyway. So, like they said here, after that, He said that little last part there, and then the judge called it for tomorrow. So y'all see it says James will continue to testify tomorrow morning. Prosecutors indicated that there's first round of questioning for James for about an hour. So tomorrow they got about an hour to question him, okay? And remind you, the prosecutors are questioning them this week. Then next week, the defense will start really questioning them the way they want to question them. You know what I'm saying? So then there's going to be an escort called Sheree Hayes that will be testifying to coming up. And Regina Ventura, that's Cassie's mother. She will be testifying this week. But see, that's what I'm saying. I think they just showing that Diddy is a horrible person. You know, I told y'all we feel, I mean, I've always felt like that. Okay, I can only speak for myself. That it was just too much stink going around. Okay. But my thing is, what is Cassie's mother gonna really tell us besides she saw some marks or something on Cassie? You remember when Cassie said, my mother called me and said, I saw a video and it looked like you getting windmilled on by Diddy in an Escalade. And Cassie told her mother, no, that wasn't me. No, mama, that wasn't me. That must have been somebody else, but that wasn't me. But the whole time Cassie was telling a tale. So I'm trying to figure out, because she was telling tales to her mother about it. Like she was saying she kept her mother out of the loop because she didn't want her mother to be drugged into it and didn't want Diddy to harm her mother. Allegedly, that's what she was saying. So what would the mother really have to testify? I guess she's just gonna say how down her child was and how good of a person her child was before she met Diddy. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see, family. So the judge, he dismissed the whole thing. Now this is the Diddy. I when I was in New York in my youngster days, this is the person we remember. And once again, back then, we was hearing all kind of rumors when he was looking like this. And his son King Kong looked just like him. But anyway, we was hearing stank when Diddy was this here young. Bad stank. So ever since he was that age, we heard so many rumors, and it was just, a lot of it was you know, when we was in our early 20s and stuff, and things was like Diddy and them, you remember when they said that lady got powed at one of the centers in New York because Diddy and Heavy D and all them was throwing a concert at this little hall venue place, and everybody went to that hall venue place. Well, family, it was a lot of people in New York City that knew if it's some type of thing going down, that Diddy and them is throwing something at a temple or a hall or a venue or something like that. Just like throwing, it wasn't no big concerts because he wasn't big like that yet. But they was throwing like big concert parties where Heavy D would, perform or something like that. It's a lot of us, such as myself, like, oh no, I ain't going to that. I'm going to that. Because rumors was out then that women was falling out or something was in the drink and knocked out, or, like not knocked out with the hand. It's like you open up a bottle and it don't say shh. You know what I'm saying? It's flat, but because you're having a good time, you're not really noticing that this thing here done been open before or something like that. Or they'll put something in a champagne. I'm just saying, allegedly, the rumors was, if you drink champagne, you're about to fall out. You're going to go to sleep. Stuff like that. So that stuff was out way, way, way back when Diddy was this here young. Y'all see on the screen. And I ain't talking about what nobody told me. I was in New York. It was just rumors, but never no evidence for real. So a lot of things they are saying in court is just like 35 years, 40 years. I say 35 years worth of rumors that we was already hearing. So that's all I have. That's all I have, family. And keep playing with the Bible, Diddy. Yes, Kendall Arca. They said he definitely doing that. Yeah. So she definitely he definitely doing that. I don't know if it's just to keep distracted or what, or do you think he really trying to change his ways? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So far, those witnesses. Boy, that Darlene ain't giving them a break, is she? She ain't giving them a break. She is not giving them a break. So, but that's all I have. Anybody in the chat, you could just put it in the chat if you want to call in. Then I open up the lines. If not, we'll leave it be, and then we will catch up tomorrow because I do want to talk about Napoleon Harris doing his swearing in tonight. Congratulations to him. But I do want to see what type of speech and all that good stuff that he did. And we'll talk about that. Thank you so much, Kendall R. Thank you. I just, but what do y'all think about how it went today? It just, I don't know, man. I mean, because if I was one of the prosecutors, I'd be looking at Dawn like, are you for real right now? Like, are you serious right now? And another thing is that she has a lawsuit out. And a lot of things that was said that they was asking her that's from the lawsuit, and she can't even remember that she said it in the lawsuit. When that come up, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if some lawyers will do that. After they see you kind of done stunk up the joint, they'll kind of leave and say, you need to drop that lawsuit, because it was too much stank. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just giving examples, It was a lot of stank up in there. She just stunk up the joint. I'm sorry. I was expecting, I was getting hyped, y'all, too. I was getting so hyped. I was getting so hyped when she was talking, and one stop, and this right here, and that, and this, and she was talking about how one stop laid out stuff, and then they was traveling, and this and that, and then all of a sudden, oh no, I ain't see no payments exchange. Oh no, now I ain't never see Diddy use it. Oh no, he didn't pull her out of the car. Now that right there never happened. Well, you said it last week. Oh, I did. Well, nah. He didn't drag her. He didn't. No. He didn't do that. I don't know why I said that, but what it's just crazy, family. It was just crazy. So anyway, sending love to you all, and we'll be back tomorrow night and see what James say, because James really do sound like he gonna have a good testimony. I'm hoping that it don't turn out like Dawn did today. Dawn tried, I have to say she tried, but it was falling apart a little bit. But now this here James, he got on the stand when they say, could you tell us your role that you used to do for Diddy? And he said, how much time we got. In other words, hey, I could go for 2, 3, 4 days with telling you my role. And then when he said something about he got the environment comfortable, but because they stopped, we couldn't hear the rest of it. But he talked like he got 2, 3 days worth of testimony. And so I'm really waiting to see. I hope he really give us some tea that fits some of these here charges that's on there. Because like I said, we know about the DV. I want to hear about some of these charges. Dawn almost had it though, but she dropped the ball. The ball must have some oil on it, because she damn sure dropped it clean out of her hand. Anyway, y'all, yeah, opening the new bottle. They said Diddy scared and he praying. Yeah. And y'all remember when he said, and then I'm a close out. But y'all remember when James said too, he said that he would come over there, make sure the chef got Diddy's dinner, his breakfast ready and all that stuff. And he'll make sure everything is comfortable for Diddy. And remember yesterday in the live, we was talking to our good brother who called in, and he was saying Diddy wanted a speedy trial. And I said, yeah, because he used to that. He used to a whole nother different lifestyle than know that little bitty bathroom sale. So that's why he asked for a speedy trial. And then you hear James said how much he used to go over there, and before he wake up, they make sure that the chef ready. Now, Diddy got a chef now. Yeah, he got a chef now, but that chef there and all them chefs, they cook for all them inmates in there, and the food ain't like what Diddy was paying his chef to fix. Okay, so yeah, he asked for that speedy trial because of the lifestyle he was living. But that's all I have, family, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, definitely. Sending love to each and every one of y'all. As always, thank you, Kendall R., the most awesome moderator. Been with me for day one, still hanging in there. Her, Hunter Green, M. Mac. Yes. So thank y'all. And I'm sending love to all of y'all in the chat. Thank y'all in the chat for just hanging in there with me. Sending love and hugs to you all. Just thank you all so much. Chat's on fire. Y'all had some good points in the chat. All that good stuff. Yes. Okay. So love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. I can't wait to hear what James gonna say. I ain't lying. Sending love, and y'all have a great night. What did it say to one of the Travis? Oh, running and the wheels fall off. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you. Love y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.